Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Coulter. And in the middle, we got my co-host, Kevin Johnson, KJ. And to the far right, today's special guest, man, we got a big legend in the house from the area of South Carolina. All SEC running back. I mean, this guy was a bruiser. You know, he rushed for over 1,000 yards. He was a part of that CarQuest Bowl team. Running back behind Steve Tannehill for the former game. He's a former Gamecock.
Yeah.
Also played with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes,
man,
sir,
he was
baby.
a kick return. And he also played running back, played with the Dolphins and a couple other teams in the NFL. My man, Brandon, the monster. Bennett, what's good, baby?
What's up? What's up?
Man, let me tell you, boy, y'all got me hype. I'm ready to go back, bro. What I need to do?
Let's do it.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
That's what's
Yes,
up,
sir.
man. Hey, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed and happy to be on here, man. For real, bro. We made this thing happen, man. I'm excited, man. Hey, let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For the people that don't know you, Brandon, let them know where you're from and a little bit about your background.
Man, I'm from Greenville, South Carolina. You know, born and raised here. Went to Riverside High School, then went to University of South Carolina. Banged it out there. You know what I mean? So, you know, bro, I'm a hometown guy, man. Played in the NFL, played 10 years, man. Played 7 with the Bengals, Carolina Panthers, Miami Dolphins, Chicago Bears. So, you know, bounced around a little bit, got to see the world, man. But had an opportunity to do something I love to do every day, man.
That's right, man.
Yeah, man. We thank you for coming on the show, man. It's an honor to have you on the show today, man. We appreciate it.
No, I'm here, man.
You got a fumble on the. You got a fumble. Go ahead, KJ.
Pick it up, baby. Pick it up.
Yes, sir.
I'll wait till you get there. All right, you back, baby. That's what's up. All right. So what age you start playing football, and was football your first love?
You know what? It's funny, man. I grew up with my mother's one of 13. You know what I mean? And all of my aunts and uncles had kids and stuff like that, man. And we all stayed over my grandma's house. You know, so football, man, was something that we started, man, as soon as we were able to start walking. We started playing. It was funny because we started playing at all of us at about 7 years old, 6, 7 years old on a team. And it was all Bennett's, bro. Everybody was Bennett on the team. So it was a Bennett at running back, Bennett at quarterback, Bennett at left tackle. With 13 aunts and uncles, bro. With 13 aunts and uncles, bro, we played football with all 11 on 11. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
You know, so with that, man, the funny thing about it is people ask me, did you always aspire to play pro ball? Man, I just enjoy having fun with my cousins, man. That was the whole deal with me, was just being able to play with my cousins. Kept us out of trouble and just had something fun to do with family every day, man.
That's what's up, man.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yep. So you started around 6 or 7. What position did you play?
You know, I played running back. I've always been running back. I've always been a running back, but then also, you know, defensive back. You know what I mean? Because you always want to get some interceptions and tackle, especially, you know, like I said, playing with my cousins and stuff like that, man. They kind of tackle you kind of hard. You want to get them back. You know what I mean? So,
stretching.
That's how it went down. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So go ahead, KJ.
Yeah. So what famous athlete you looked up to when you was a kid?
You know what? It's funny, man, because Terry Allen was a good friend of mine. You know, I mean, he was a mentor of mine also. So, you know, I really looked up to him, you know what I mean? But then also, you know, as a running back, you're always looking at the Emmitt Smiths and the Walter Paytons and the Eric Dickersons. Man, I could keep Roger Craig. You know what I mean? I'm showing my age a little bit because y'all might not even know who those guys are.
I know a little bit.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we familiar now. And we look at the same guys. Yeah,
that's it, man. You know, it was one of them, man. I like them grunt workers, man. People that came down here and just, you know what I mean, just force-fed people them. You know what I mean? So those are the ones I like, man. Barry Sanders, you know, hey, come on, man.
All right, Juke Master. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me ask you, like, a lot of running backs in the 90s wore big pads. I know you had the neck roll on the back. What inspired that for you?
Laying the wood.
Man, let me tell you, it's funny, man, because you know, we were out there one time and I was looking at these linebackers and I was like, man, can I play, man, with these big old boys? You know what I mean? I was like, I need to give them something to make me at least scare them a little bit. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
I mean, it was funny because we got out there one day at practice, man, and I got the heck knocked out of me. You know, and my neck was bothering me, and one of the guys was like, man, you ought to have your neck roll, and you wouldn't have that. Man, so I grabbed me one of them neck rolls. Man, I got back out there and started banging. I said, oh, yeah, this ain't never coming off. It's only popping now. That was my strength, bro. That was like the power I needed right there now.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Okay. So go ahead, KJ.
I think KJ froze up on us.
He back now. He back. Yeah, he back.
Yeah, I was saying, going to Riverside High School, did you play right away as a freshman?
You know what? I did. I played. Well, I started they didn't let us do that at first. So I came in at my sophomore year. I started to play. You know what I mean? Okay. And got out there and I mean, really, really killed it, you know, and was kind of nervous about the whole situation. You know what I mean? Because at Riverside, man, that was the first time they had ever done that. You know what I mean? So to be able to get out there and be able to go play and you know, you think about it, man, as a kid that's, you know, 14 years old, and now you're looking at guys that are on the other side or beside you that got mustaches and beards and muscles already there. And you're looking at yourself like, you know, you trying to walk tall, and you know what I mean? You trying to put that chest out, and they ain't putting theirs out. It's out.
You look like a man,
bro. You know what I mean? So it was one of the things where I was like, bro, oh no. You know, I was running fast. I was running fast because I didn't want him to hit me. You know what I
mean? Exactly.
Yeah, that's how it started with me.
Okay. Did you run any track in the off seasons or anything like that?
Man.
Talk about that a little
definitely.
bit.
Yeah, definitely, man. You know what? I'm big on kids playing other sports, man, and stuff like that, man. I played football, basketball, and track. You know what I mean? So, you know, I loved it, man, because it gave me an opportunity to do different things. You know, I think multiple sports helps you to be able to think the game a little bit differently. Each one of them is different, so it works. You know, being able to figure out things and stuff like life. You know what I mean? You're always gonna have to figure out how to manage a situation. How do I assess this situation and come up with the best option for me to be successful? You know what I mean? So I think that kids should play other sports. You know, because I think it works different parts of the brains, the brain, the body. You know what I mean? And it helps them to be able to figure out, you know, things, you know, a whole lot easier, a whole lot better, you know.
Yeah. And then you also play basketball too now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who's your favorite NBA player? Also?
You know what? It's funny because I was on the practice squad with the Chicago Bears. So the great thing about that, man, is that when we were there, bro, I got to go to all the games, Chicago games, man. So with the Bulls, so I got to see the Pippins, the Rodmans, you know what I mean, the Jordans and all this and whatever. So, you know what I mean? I was all on that now.
That's what's up.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I was loving that, man. So, you know, I always been a Jordan fan, man. And, you know, I've always been one to try to just like, I'm very interested in somebody that's good at something, that's like really good at something, you know, so it could be, man, it could be a carpenter, it could be a mechanic, anybody, you know what I mean? And I just love the fact that somebody having a passion for something and being able to figure out things that other people can't, you know, so I'm big on just watching the little things and stuff like that. And with Jordan, man, I used to just listen to some of his stuff, watch his stuff, same as like with Barry Sanders and just with people in all different sports, you know what I mean? So, you know, bro, I could say something in all the sports, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yep.
It's a Michael Jordan sport, man, for real.
Yep.
Yeah, bro, definitely.
So take us back a little bit. You played football, track, and basketball in high school. Which sport came natural to you, and which sport you had to work the hardest in?
You know what? Basketball. Basketball was the hardest for me. You know what I mean? Because with football, man, it was one of them things where, you know, athletically I was there. You know what I mean? Just moving around, quickness and speed and stuff. Because we did that every day. You know what I mean? With my cousins and stuff or whatever. But basketball, we did that every day or whatever. But I just couldn't figure out how to dribble that fast when I'm running and cutting that fast. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So
practice.
it just took me it took me a lot more time to be able to try to figure this thing out, because in football you just want to with basketball. With basketball, bro, you got to dribble this thing and your feet got to be in line with your hands and everything. So basketball was one of those things where I really like to do, but it was one that I had to really kind of say, okay, bro, I need to get a little extra work in this right here,
Yeah. Hey, what position you played?
It's funny because at Riverside, man, we had Coach Louis Golden, who was like one of the winningest coaches in basketball. You know what I mean? He was one that went to Riverside and went to Southside and won all those years or whatever. And man, we ran the flex, but constantly moving. You know what I mean? And it was four players, which all of us were football players, and then one big man. So all it was running gun with us, constantly moving the whole time, setting picks and turning out, trying to get the ball, bro.
Yeah, that's all right. Triangle offense, man.
Yeah, hey, bro. It's just you go set that pick, he spin off, go out, go set another pick, he spin out. You know what I mean? So
just somebody get open.
yeah, definitely. And it was one of the things with us with football players. We were good at setting pick, but the first, them first couple of games, you foul out because you blocking like you on the football field.
Yeah. The ref a little tough in there, man.
Yeah, for real.
Touch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
So did you guys compete in the playoffs in all three sports, or tell us how your seasons went?
You went good, man. We with football, bro, we just made it to the first round and then we get our head beat down. You know what I mean? It just we were an athletic team, but we optioned all the time or whatever. So when we got to the big season, the big games that can match up with us or whatever in the playoffs, we're going against the Daniels and the Senecas and people like that had bigger teams that now all they would do is come hit me and come hit the quarterback. We're an option team. So we were kind of stuck. We were only throwing the ball only about, maybe 5 to 10 times a game. So at that point, bro, it was slim, bro. It was slim pickings on trying to get some yardage. I was getting banged out a little bit. Basketball, we did good, went to state and all that. Then we got beat by Keenan, bro. It was Keenan back then, bro. It was a bunch of us, bro.
Powerhouse back then.
They wasn't playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, a lot of dunking
in that work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
we come to Columbia, you better be bringing your head beat in.
You better believe that, bro. It was real up in there. And then man, with track, man, I was a state champion in long jump and triple jump, and I was a hurdler also. So, just did a bunch of different things, man. And it's funny because all those sports, man, I just use them as plyometric type stuff for football.
That's right, man. Hey, did you play any all-star games?
I played in the Shrine Bowl. I was the MVP for the Shrine Bowl.
Oh, congratulations, Tom.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. So that was cool, man. It was awesome to be able to go and play South Carolina against North Carolina. You know what I mean? So it was awesome. Yeah, great opportunity, man. I grew up poor, man, and just with football, with college, with pro, everything gave me an opportunity, man, to really see the world, man, to really to value the opportunity that I had, man. I tell people all the time, man, I look at football, and sports in general for everybody as something, man. I think a lot of times these guys act like they think that they're a blessing to the game and don't realize that game is a blessing to us, man. You know what I mean? And they need to take more time, what I mean? Just trying to be, I like how you got the suit. I like how y'all dress, you know what I mean? Because I think that these kids, white or black, I don't care, you know what I mean? Need to understand intelligence, understanding how they need to dress and how they need to interact with people. Right. Ignorance don't have any color, man. So I'm big on trying to make sure that anybody that I come into contact with, man, is looking somebody in the face and they're, and then putting on a face that is somebody that people want to approach and want to come up and talk to, man. You're approachable. You know what I mean? So, man, I love the fact that, man, that you guys are dressed up and all that or whatever, because it's important. I think that people need to see us. You know what I mean? Definitely need to see us, man.
Yeah, we can do it too. You know
definitely.
There you go.
Yeah. So
I got two.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, I got two boys, man, that are 19 and 21, man, and that's what I tell them all the time. I'm like, man, people judge you by who you hang with, by the clothes you
There you
wear,
go.
you know, by the words that come out your mouth. You know what I mean? So you need to be clean in every part of that. You know what I mean? Because those are the ones that's gonna have you back. Those are the ones that's gonna, give you the job or whatever, or help you out when things are going tough. And if those things don't work good for you, hey, it wasn't gonna work for you anyway. They wasn't gonna care about you anyway. So the heck with them.
There you go. Right. That's right, man. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yep. So you lead the Shrine Bowl. How many players on your team actually with the Gamecocks with you, and how many of them actually went on to the NFL from that South Carolina Shrine Bowl team? I know it was a lot of good players on there.
Man, we had a gang of players, man, out there, And the funny thing about it, Lethan Flowers was on my team. He played at Georgia Tech, then with the Pittsburgh Steelers for a while. You had doggone I can't think of safety that he went to Georgia Tech also, and his Stu, last name Stu. Ryan Stewart. Ryan Stewart was with me and played in the league for a long time or whatever. You know what I mean? So I mean, we had a bunch of great players that played in college, but a bunch of them didn't go pro. But I tell people all the time, man, that's how it is. That 1%, bro, is really 1%. You know what I mean? It's some great guys that were playing that didn't get that opportunity, or it just didn't pan out for them. You know what I mean? So, I'm big on just telling these kids, man, to find something that you love other than sports. Work on things other than sports, man, to try to be good at. You know what I mean? Try to find something. I tell my boys, I got 2 boys, like I said, man, and I tell them all the time, look, mom and daddy paying the bills for you. We do everything for you. We got your car, they own scholarships or whatever, but you still got things you got to pay for. And tell them, I said, mom and dad is taking care of things or whatever. So try to figure out things you want to do, things you want to jump into. You know what I mean? Because now you ain't got no worries because we take care of everything. What people don't realize that even as an athlete, man, it's so many, it's about 70 something percent, man. We were talking about it on one of the NFL, I'm on one of the committees. We talk about different things in the NFL to go on different rules, regulations, and all this or whatever. And we were just talking about how so many of these guys, come into the league and don't make it, or even make it. But then when it's over, they don't know how to function in life because all they've ever been is that number that's on their chest and on their back. So I'm always telling my kids, I'm telling kids that I run into with my training and all this or whatever, brother, try to find something that you like right now so that when that time it comes and it's over, whether it's high school, college, or pro, you got something that you want to invest in, you want to work in, you want to try to start moving in. You know what I mean?
That's right, man.
Yeah, correct.
All right. So coming out of high school, what schools did you turn down and why you chose USC?
It's funny, man. Coming out of high school, man, I was the number 2 running back in the country, number 1 free safety. You know what I mean? So I did work, bro, and not trying to brag. I'm just telling what it was. And it was crazy because I was going to go to Nebraska, and they came to my house. Gene Stall came, and he was like, we love you, we want you, blah blah blah, and he was like, but you only gonna get to come home. Maybe once or twice a year. I said, no, I ain't doing that. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. That's too far, and I might not be able to come home. And it's funny because people were like, man, you turned down Nebraska. They just had, because that's when they had, they was getting the Heisman Trophy winners left and right.
Yeah.
They're like, what is that? And I said, this is the thing, man. My mother told me, she said, I could go anywhere I wanted to. But think of this, you better go somewhere that if things don't go your way and it's the worst ever going with football, you're happy you're there. You know what I mean? So with that, man, I turned down the Penn States, the Notre Dames, everybody, whatever. My brother was already at University of South Carolina. And with that, I chose South Carolina because, for one, I would be with my brother, and I knew I'd been there enough to know that I liked it there. It was close enough home, but then, man, my whole family always came to my game. My mother never missed one of my football games ever.
Oh, yeah, man.
Never.
That's important.
You know what I mean? So with that, man, I wanted her to be able to, and my family to be able to come and still support, be able to see me, not to be broken up between two places because my brother was playing in South Carolina and I'll be playing somewhere else. So I wanted to make it easy for her, you know what I mean? And like I said, man, my family never missed a game, never missed one of my football games, you know, and that was huge. And it was a blessing because, you know, it was some times that I didn't have a good game, you know, but to come out there and to see my family and them to be there to be able to say, hey, boy, you got another game next week. You better get your head up. You know, it did something to me, and it made me so happy that I made the decision to stay close to home.
Dang, good job.
Cool. Yeah. So you get there your freshman year. Who's the player that embraced you at the time when you get to USC campus?
You know, it was funny, man, because when I was there, man, it was right after Joe Moe had died and all this whatever. So you had these guys that were just, it was different, man. It was some thugs out there. They was trying to make that transition, man. And Robert Gibson, this big guy, came up to me, man, and he was just like, you little freshman punk, you think you're gonna come in here and start? You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh my God, you know.
Yeah, top up fear in you, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then he just patted me on the back and like, boy, we excited to have you here. You know what I mean? And it just, Gerald Dixon, you know, I played with Gerald Dixon, who went in the league and played with San Diego for a long time and killed it or whatever. You know what I mean? So, you know, it was crazy. So a lot of the defensive guys, you know, kind of started talking to me or whatever. And then we had Rob DeBoer, who was a great, you know, my fullback, you know. Yeah, you know, so him, Albert Haynes, there was a bunch of guys, man, that just was like, hey, man, look, we're trying to win. You know what I mean? We're trying to win, and we think that you're probably the best opportunity for us to be able to do that. And it was running backs, you know what I mean? And Corey Bridges, well, that's my next year. Corey Bridges was my roommate, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's my CA. That's my boy there now. That's my little brother. You know, so I mean, we had some great people there. Toby Cates. Hey, now that was my boy. Him and Tony Watkins. Yeah, you know, they looked out for me all the time. You know what I mean? They was always like, "Boy, come on with us." You know what I mean? So, you know, I had a great group, man. That was probably the best decision I made for real.
Nice, man. Nice.
Cool.
Hey,
cool.
What
I got some. Go ahead, KJ.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. Yeah, what coach recruited you at USC?
You know what? I had Sparky Woods. You know, that he was the one that just, man, he was at every one of my games and stuff. You know what I mean? But I tell you something funny now, because I was gonna go to Clemson.
Oh, come on, man. Come on,
dude,
man.
I was gonna go to Clemson. But hey, I was gonna go to Clemson, but then Hatfield, when I went on my visit, Hatfield said, hey, man, we think that, you know, you can't beat out Rodney Williams, so we're gonna put you at DB.
What?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And guess, my host was LaVon Kirkland and Terry Allen. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to Clemson. And that dude, he came out there and said that I wasn't good enough, and I said, okay, you're gonna pay for that. You gonna pay for that?
Dang, KJ. He talk a little too much.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, bro. When he said he didn't think I was good enough to beat them boys out, I'm like, you know, I'm like Witherspoon, all them boys. I'm like, look, there's some good boys. I say, but I ain't scared of no competition. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, I ain't scared, but he straight up was like, nah, we're gonna put you at DB because you rank higher at DB. And I was like, nah, I'm playing running back, bro.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's big. That's big to know that you rank high in a different position on the other side of the ball, but make the transition to play offense and still, you know, represent, you know, on a higher level. So kudos to you on that. We got some foot. Go ahead. Yeah. We got some footage here I want to share with the people who watching. You guys that's watching, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Spotify, and Deezer. Just hit the notification button as well. Check out this video we got. This is 1993 versus Georgia. It's the last second touchdown that you scored. Probably one of your most memorable touchdowns. So we're going to take a look at that real quick.
All right, let's go.
1.5-yard line. Double tight end for Carolina. And here's the get to Bennett. Dives over, but he's not in the end zone. He's right at the goal line with 21 seconds remaining. Evans. Get the ball to Bennett. He dives.
That's what's up.
That's all right, man. It's great, man. That's one of the best finishes ever. You know what I mean? It's crazy. We just went into the SEC. You know what I mean? And we're playing at Georgia. You know, I mean that was a statement right there. We thought anyway.
Yeah, it's cool, man. So you guys go on. I think the next year, and you go to the Conquest Bowl. I have some other footage. I think you guys lost against Kentucky by 7 on this, but I got to highlight what you love jumping over that pylon, jumping over the line to get in that end zone, like Tecmo Bowl. I guess you played a lot of Tecmo Bowl growing up, bro.
Yes, sir. Me too.
Check it out. Here you go.
Cox. Who's that? It's a former Heisman Trophy winner, George Rogers, watching his alma mater. 7-7 in the third. Brandon Bennett over and in. 14-7 Gamecocks. Tannehill leading the cheers. Bennett rushed for 132 yards, but Kentucky will come back. Trailing by 10 in the fourth. Antonio O'Farrell to Randy Wyatt. And he's gone. 64 yards. It's 17-14 South Carolina. Wyatt 4 rushes, 77 yards. Bill Curry once more. Kentucky gets the ball back. O'Farrell, no pitch. He keeps it himself. Breaks tackles down to the 2. Woodfork would score later. 21-17 Kentucky. Gamecocks with a couple of chances with about 5 minutes.
So, yeah, man. So you guys lost by 7 on that game.
Yeah.
I think I watched that game. It was so close, and then he threw a pick at the end. I was like, oh man. But you guys still had a great season. Talk about the teammates that you had and the camaraderie. You guys probably had maybe like 5 or 6, maybe 7 players that went to the NFL. You got Terry Cousins, yourself, a couple linemen.
Yeah.
Corey Bridges. Just talk about that team chemistry you guys had out of the blue and winning the first bowl game for the game.
Yeah, it was, man. We had a great group of guys, man. Just like I said, like with Toby Case, Tony Watkins, with my boy C4. I mean, we had Tanny here. I mean, man, we just had a bunch of guys that truly cared about each other. We hung out together. You know what I mean? And that was the thing that was special because, as I got into the NFL, man, a lot of times, man, you're only brought together because you play sports, not because you have the same personality or you do the same thing, but just because you play sports. And a lot of times that's a separation too, because you don't have anything but that, whereas in college, man, you get an opportunity to truly meet these guys. We're going home, with each other. It was like, bro, it's funny because in South Carolina, everybody has some country type something going on, some type, okay, well, hey, you know what, we're going family having a cookout today. You know what I mean? So we jump in the car, we go to one of the Chris Rumps, house down there, way down in the sticks and charge, you know what I mean? Or you go to, somebody else's house that's over in the bush, Tony Watkins that's in Rock Hill, or Toby Case in Chapman and stuff like that. So, it was always just nice to be able to hang with my boys and we would have it set up. Okay, hey, what, Thanksgiving we're going here. They got a pumpkin smashing over here. They got, some type cookout over here. You know what I mean? So I just love the fact of the family type atmosphere that I had at South Carolina with a bunch of those guys, man. I'm telling you, I had a blast. I tell my boys all the time, man, and kids going to college, that'll be the best time of your life. And it's going to be a time when you really get to truly meet and see people and find out who you really are and who they are, because everybody broke. You know what I mean? You just try to figure out how to get from point A to point B. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Go ahead, KJ.
Can you talk to the young people about the importance of carrying the football? As far as running down the sideline, make sure
man, that's important. I tell you, man, one of the most important things when I got to the NFL, my coach told me this. I was walking down the hall. He said, you hold the hopes and the dreams of everybody on this team and in this building in your hands.
Wow.
Don't take it lightly. You know what I mean? And when he said that, man, I was just like, whoa. You know what I mean? Because you don't think of that. But with that little bitty ball, bro, everybody's hopes and dreams are relying on you with that. You know what I mean? So these kids, I'm always talking to the kids about, man, holding that ball, covering it up, man, keeping it high and tight, putting both hands over it. You know, and making sure that nothing about that ball is able to be pulled out your hand, and you got to hold that, you know what I mean, with a death grip, because you truly affect everybody on that field, on that sideline, everybody in that building, the facility, and any and everybody that's out there supporting you. You know what I mean? You know, my grandmother told me a long time ago, she said, it was funny because I was out there and you know, like knuckleheads, man. We having a ball, we killing some teams, man, and I'm out here balling and I'm leaving stuff out on the field because I'm just kind of playing with kids and stuff like this. And she said, don't waste people's time. Don't waste people's time, because you know what? They could be doing a whole lot of other things, you know? And that just stuck in my mind, man. So I just think about it every time I got on that field, and when I was holding that ball, that it was no way that I was going to give that ball up, because too many people were relying on me. Too many people were getting excitement from what I was doing, and I never wanted to be that one to make it to be the weak link.
That's right.
Yeah. So talk about the rival with Clemson. You know, they recruited you. Talk about the get back. Talk about you getting the big payback like James Brown.
Now you know, like George Rogers, Herschel Walton. Hey, none of them guys that went over 100 yards in Death Valley. Now, I was the first back to go over 100 yards in Death Valley, and I did it twice.
Let them know. Let them know, Brandon. The monster.
And I did
the
it
monster
twice.
with the neck roll.
You know what I mean? Hey, and then the butterfly, you know.
I saw that. Okay. By the goalpost.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you know, so I mean that
93.
That rivalry was huge, because this is the thing, man. Even though I was in South Carolina, I was still friends with a bunch of those guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, I would still go to Clemson. Man, my wife went to Clemson. You know, so I was going down there hanging out with her and hanging out with them guys. But hey, the week of the game, I'm like, hey, bro, don't call me. Don't come. Hey, bro, we ain't friends. There ain't nothing, bro. And if y'all win, don't call me for another week. You know what
I mean? Real. He for real, too.
Yeah. But y'all win, don't call me. We ain't cool. You know what I mean? If we win, I'm gonna stay down here after the game. You know what
I mean? Hey, talk about the bowl games, man.
Huh?
Talk about the bowl games. How was the bowl games?
Man,
Nah. Somebody probably was trying to call him.
Yeah.
And it knocked his audio off. Just go out and come back in.
All right.
All right.
Can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah, you back,
yes, sir.
All right, man. Bowl game was awesome, man, because you got to think about it, man. We up until that point, South Carolina we'd never won a bowl game. You know what I mean? So that was huge. Yep. It was huge to go, much less. I mean, and it was huge to go, and then to win. You know what I mean? That was crazy, because all you ever heard is, "Hey, bro, we ain't never won. We ain't never won. We just want to win." You know what I mean? So to be able to go was huge. But I mean, mentally, man, these guys, we were so focused on making sure we were going to win that game. it was crazy, man. I had never seen so many guys. I'm a big visualizer, and I'm big on studying film because I never want to get put in a situation that I had no idea what to do. You know what I mean? So with that, I'm big on always trying to make sure I'm gonna probably get too much information instead of not enough information. You know what I mean? But it was crazy to be sitting in meetings and things like this, man. And you got guys that you hadn't seen in half the year, you know, sitting in the meetings and coming in there like, B, what you see, what's going on, what you looking for, what are you, you know. So it was. I mean, it was just an awesome experience to be there and to see, especially from where we had come before to that, you know what I mean, and just see how the guys just literally focused in and really wanted to win that game and were doing all the things possible to win, man. If we would have lost, it's one of them things where if we would have lost, I would have been like, hey, you know what I mean? They were just better than us because we did the things we needed to do to be ready to play and ready to win.
That's right.
Yep. Cool. So you leave the Gamecocks. No, let me ask you this question. In that era, who was the toughest team in the SEC conference y'all faced? Was it Tennessee, Georgia?
Man, we played Alabama.
Alabama.
Bro, that's when Alabama defense. Bro, that's when Alabama had that defense, and every one of them boys, all their DNs and stuff went first round.
Dang.
You know, I mean, bro, boy, Sherman Williams was a running back, bro. I mean, bro, they had some guys. Boy, they had some guys back there that was something stupid, man. And we played them guys, bro. And, boy, I was like, man, they were big. Alabama back then was like really big. You know what I mean?
NFL players.
Yeah, exactly, man. We ran up in there, and then we had to play them there. You know, I'm like, but we got to play these boys every year. You know, and that was a little different now. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you right now, I never went into a game and said, "Hey, bro, we're gonna lose." You know, that ain't who I am. You know what I mean? But it was some times when you look at that thing and like, man, y'all got to block, bro.
Tell it.
I'm like, hey, you know, that's when it get to that point where you be like, hey, I'm gonna run hard now. Y'all got to block somebody now. You know,
real. Do your job, man. Yeah, let's get out this thing safe.
Yeah.
So you go into the combines, and you know, you get a workout pro day. What are some of the teams that's lined up looking at you, and at that time, who do you thought you were going to go to versus where you went?
You know, it was crazy, man, because we had like everybody came to our pro day. You know what I mean? And I mean, you had Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, you know, San Diego, man. We had all across the board because, I mean, like I said, you had Toby, who was one of the top receivers coming through. You know, Tony Watkins was, bro, you know, they had said Tony Watkins, pound for pound, was the hardest hitter in the draft, period, of all positions. You know what I mean? So we had guys that were coming through that was crazy. You know, the problem, well, I ended up, man, I had hurt I had tore my abdominal muscles in the bowl game and didn't let anybody know. But when it came down to it, I wasn't able to work out and run. You know, so a bunch of teams got pissed off because I wouldn't run, but I didn't want to let people know that, hey, bro, I had tore my abdominal muscles. Because at that time, you think about it, at that time, you start talking about abdominal muscles and knees. Bro, people in the 90s, bro, people weren't coming back from that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was just like, they were like, look, you either tell them, we're not going to say nothing. You either let them know, or you just got to come out here and try to do whatever to try to make it happen. So I'm like, hell, that's a no-win 100% either way.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't run. And I don't want to tell them, you know what I mean, what's going on or whatever, you know. So, I mean, I ended up just saying it because I just really couldn't do it. They wanted me to lift weights and stuff, man. When you tell your abdominal muscle, there's no lifting. You know what I mean? That's your stomach is everything.
Yeah.
You know, so with that, I ended up going free agency because they said that, hey, we didn't even know if he was going to ever be able to play football again. You know, but when I did heal up, everybody was back out there, man. And like I said, Cincinnati, you know, they took me, and man, bro, I balled out. I mean, I got out there and wasn't humble. I mean, I was humble and I wasn't pride. I didn't have that pride to where I was like, man, I ain't gonna do anything except for running back. I got there and I was like, hey man, wherever y'all going, give me an opportunity, I'm at it. Let's get it. You know what I mean? And that's what I try to tell people all the time with any job, man. Help out, help other people out. Do what you can for the whole. And it's wild because that's how I ended up making the team in Cincinnati. We were going through preseason. Last game, it was the last game, man. We were playing the Patriots. We had just went up to score and win, and I was standing on the sideline, hadn't got in yet. I had led the whole preseason. We had Corey Dillon over there, Kajana Carter. Man, we had a squad, dude. You know what I mean? We had a squad, bro. People don't realize, man, Cincinnati, we might not have been winning, but 7 games a year, but we always had the #1 rushing offense in the NFL. We're the only team. They were the only team that had 20. We're the only team that had 25 years of 1,000-yard rusher consecutively. You know what I mean? Nobody had that. You know what I mean? We were putting it down. But yeah, bro, I was standing on the sideline and they was like, look, hey, we got Corey Dillon, we got Kajana Carter, we got so much money in the backfield. We might have to let you go, man. I'm out there, and I had led the preseason in rushing. We're sitting there, and we go to kick off, didn't have but 10 guys on the field. So I'm standing beside Coach, bro. Coach pushed me out there. I ran out on the field. Man, I'm right beside the kicker. I'm like, bro, I'm number 5. I'm right beside the kicker. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, I got to run down here, and I know I'm going to get hit by a big lineman. You know what I mean? They going to wedge on me. They wasn't protecting us back then. You know what I mean? These guys right here kind of soft, bro. They pillow fighting out there. So, dude, I took off down there, man. I made the move, man. Made the tackle the guy on the 15-yard line, dude. Man, I'm coming to the sideline. Special team coach meets me in the middle of the field, bro. That's your position. That's your position, man. That's how I made the team, bro. That's how I made the team.
That's what's up, man. That's dope. That's dope. Nobody would have never known, man.
Pays off. That's it, man.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
So we got some footage, man, of you actually doing some kick return, man. You was putting it in. I see you trying to be modest in the background. Well, my man, he had some jets. He took the neck roll off, KJ, when he got to the NFL. He got a little lighter in the
had to get lighter, bro.
I need to be light.
Yes, sir.
Watch this video. All right, watch this.
3-dog night. There they are. Well, as only they could be at a Bengals game, right? Bengals at home against Cleveland. Hey, it's a good game. 17 all third quarter. Tim Couch. Dennis Northcutt.
Always around the football when good things are happening. Dennis Northcutt.
24-17 in Cleveland. But then Brandon Bennett. We saw him with a big return earlier this month. Look at him. He could go all the way, almost all the way. 82 yards down to the 7-yard line. Next play, 1st and goal. Bengals in business. 8 minutes to go. Now, here we go. It's Corey Dillon. And he's down to the yard-and-a-half line. And so you know they're going to get him with Corey Dillon. He's at the no! Isn't that Matt? No! That's kind of the play they ran a couple weeks ago with Matt. No! It's off. Hackle. Tommy. They need another play down there.
Yeah, and you see the frustration right there between Corey Dillon and the running back coach Jim Anderson. Just frustrated because he couldn't get that ball in the end zone.
And then John Kitna tries to make something happen. He finds Dillon. Get out. No, he doesn't get out. Tick. They're down 27-20 at the 50. Complete to Peter Ward. No, he can't get out. Tick. The Bengals, they're 1-9. Cleveland evens their mark at 5-5. Dillon running for 92 yards, be it 93, he'd be in overtime. And the Browns beat the Bengals 27.
Dang.
Man, I forgot you played with Peter Ward, T.J. Hughes-Mazada, Chad Johnson,
yes,
John
sir.
Kitna, Corey Dillon. Like, you had a squad. Those Pro Bowls.
Dude, and don't forget we had Lorenzo Neal at fullback.
Man,
Rizzo O'Neal, big guy. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and that was the thing. I think that was the most frustrating thing about that, man, is that we had the pieces, man. We just game. It was crazy, man. The way that we would lose games, we would be punishing people, whatever, bro, and interception, ran back, fumble, picked up, ran back. Just muffed a punt, went in the end zone. You know what I mean? Just crazy stuff. I was like,
Halloween, man.
dude, it was so bad. It was so bad. I remember this was when I was like, well, this is crazy. I remember, bro, we were sitting there and the media was so aggravated with us. They said, you know what? We're going to play a folly of one of y'all games every game until y'all win. Dude, bro, it was like 9 weeks. We were getting blasted for about 9 weeks. I was like, oh, my God. Because it was crazy because offensive-wise, we were putting the numbers down. The numbers were there.
Yeah, man. Just want to score.
Yeah, but, I mean, it was crazy, dude. We were getting beat. We'd score 40 points and get beat by 41, 41-40. You know what I mean? It was like,
yeah.
We couldn't buy a win, bro.
Oh, yeah,
everything's
man. Yeah, dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got some more footage of you, man, returning kicks. Let's see what this one does. And let's see which one, if you remember this one.
Now we're over to the Bengals. Dick LeBeau, a one-game winning streak, and this was a wild game in Baltimore. It's a bobble by Brandon Bennett. So that freezes the kick return team, the cover team, and he's gone. Look at the speed, Tommy. 94 yards. Last week, the Bengals had a 102-yard interception return. This game would get wild. 7-7 late first. Ed Reed the pick. Now the rookie has got some learning to do. It's an excellent bomb and weave, and then I'm in. No, you're not. Hushman Zeta makes a Don Beebe-like play. Warwick falls on it for Cincinnati. It's a touchback. Reed, geez, he wasn't even close.
You know, he's having an outstanding year, but I think I can straighten this out for him. You hold on to the football until you cross the goal line. That one's fixed.
Second quarter, John Kitnan pick. Adalius Thomas. Very from Southern Miss. He's in. Ravens lead 14-7. Later in the second, 17-14 Baltimore. Lamont Brightful from
Eastern Washington.
Drafted as a kick returner, and now you see why. Good. Go all the way. 95 yards. My God, how many big plays can we have? 24-14 Ravens.
Yeah, and I talk about the year that Ed Reed's having. You watch him right there, and what a great block he throws. You know, he's going to get the touchdown to Brightful. It's just a great play by him.
And here's another one, Tommy. Boom, overthrow Kitna. Reed the interception. 4 Bengal turnovers. Here we go again. In the ensuing drive, let's calm things down. Let's give it to Jamal Lewis for 11. Woo. And Lewis, who had 135, powers in. And the Ravens win it. 38-27. To up their mark to 4-5. The good news for the Bengals, first time in 4 games in Baltimore they scored. The bad news, they've lost 6 in a row at the Big Crab game.
Yeah, and the Ravens somehow making some things work even without Ray Lewis in that lineup.
Man, you took off like the little rascals when you got the midfield. Them legs start high step. I was like, man, somebody done fast forward the film.
Hey,
like, man, I ain't never see you run that fast at Carolina.
I had to get there, man. I had to get there. They were coming.
Yeah.
Man,
I was like, man, he got to the NFL and got faster. For real.
Man, you know what it
I'm
is.
talking about long kick returns.
Yeah, heck, it's
Yeah,
funny,
man.
So,
So, do you ever saw yourself doing kick returns in the NFL? You ever thought that was going to happen?
No. Not at all,
I
bro.
ain't see it either. And I followed you. Yeah. But,
Not
hey, you did your thing, though, bro.
Hey, it was one of those, it was one of the same type things, man, where his coach was just like, hey, you know what? He's over here. He's doing this good. We want to get him on the field, give him more touches and things like that. You know, man, it's wild, bro. I like I said, man, I just thank God for the opportunity to be able to play football, man. It changed my life. But, you know, when I got into the pros, man, to be able to go do it at that type level, man, with those type guys, and to be able to be good at it. You know what I mean? That's the thing is, I wasn't just playing. I was making things happen, and I was a vital part, man. And it was just, man, just looking back at that stuff, man, it just makes me just feel so happy to be able to have that opportunity to be able to do it, man.
Yeah, for real, man.
Yeah, man. So go ahead, KJ.
Yeah, I was gonna say, talk about life after football. You know, what you got going on now?
Man, what I'm doing now, man, is that, man, I've always loved working with kids. I've always liked being able to share, you know, my gift and use my platform to help others to, I don't even say reach their goals. I want them to go higher than their goals, you know. So, man, I have it's a man in Simpsonville, man, Elite Total Fitness. Man, I do all the sports performance training and all that or whatever, man, and mentoring and shadowing things and all this whatever, and just try to, man, I work with kids with all sports, you know, all ages, male, female, it doesn't matter to me. And, man, one of the things we do is, you know, we train, but then I also say, hey, you know, what do you want to do other than sports? And I try to help them get internships at those type jobs, man, so they can start trying to figure that thing out right now.
That's right.
Cool. That's it. So what is your message for the youth right now trying to get to the next level, no matter if they're high school, college, or Pop Warner? Doesn't matter.
You know what? I tell them you are your own corporation. So what you put out there, you know, either people they're gonna buy it or they're gonna turn away from it. You know, so what are you gonna put out there? How hard are you gonna work on your brand? You know what I mean? Are you gonna do the things you need to do to be able to make yourself successful? You know, it's always something that can be done. You know, it doesn't always have to be physical as far as you running and lifting weights or whatever, but mentally you should always be trying to figure out how to be better, how to do better, and what you need to do to be able to put yourself in a situation to be successful. And that should go on all the time, man. It's no sleeping on that thing or whatever, man. It's always trying to figure out how to be the best you can be. What can you do? And then, you know, man, try to help others, man. I smile, be approachable. Others, you know, it's crazy, man. But, man,
that's a hard thing to do for some people.
You know, because this is the thing, man. You smile at somebody, what are they gonna do? They're gonna smile back.
Smile back.
You know what I mean? And then and the thing is that you never know how many people you're gonna touch by that smile, bro. You know what I mean? Right. So I'm big on that, man. I'm big because I think this is my thinking, man. Me and you know, us three sit here and talk, right? We're positive, all this or whatever. Just listening to y'all, just looking at y'all, man, it gives me a positive vibe and it makes me happy. Okay. So now I leave here and I go touch some other people. And then they leave from me and they go touch some other people. And people keep doing that. Man, how many people can we reach? How many people can we reach? You know what I mean? Just us. If you reach 5, he reach 5, I reach 5, bro, that's 15 right there.
That should be simple too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's the thing, man. That's my whole deal, man, is that, man, I'm just all about positivity. I'm all about love, man, and respect, and, you know, all this tension that's going on in the world or whatever, man. Why, bro? Why? You know what I mean? Be that change. I'm trying to be that change, man. You know, I tell people all the time, man, I started doing this training, man. My boys are 16 months apart. I started doing my training because I wanted to just spend time with my boys. You know what I mean? So I would take them out to the field with me, and I ended up getting a whole lot more people because, you know, in South Carolina, there wasn't a whole lot of professional athletes that were just out and about, just willy-nilly, you know what I mean? So I would be at the park just playing with my boys. I put cones out there, man. I dressed them exactly like me. So they had their little Nike stuff on and they backpack and they had cones and stuff in there. And I'd be doing my cutting and stuff, and I'd make them the same kind of little obstacle course, a little bit smaller. You know what I mean? So we'd be doing that stuff and all that. And people started to come, hey, Brandon, hey. They started to jump in, man. And you know what? My mind automatically went to this. You know, I got an opportunity to be able to shape my kids' mind, but then other kids' minds also. And if I could keep touching people and you know, doing my part, then you know what? Maybe selfishly my kids will be safe because these people are all gonna be loving my kids and wanting to be around them. And this whole group now can take care of each other. And then they touch some people and take care of some people, and they touch more people and take care of each other, man. So that's what made me start doing my training, you know, because I wanted my boys to be safe, to have a bunch of people around them that love them and care about them, that I ain't have to worry about foolishness going on around us.
That's what's up.
I understand.
Talk about your son at Coastal Carolina.
There you go, KJ. Good question.
Man, Braden is funny, man. I got two boys. One is at Limestone. That's a track kid, which is hilarious. Let me tell you something, dude. When you have a son, and Brandon is built like me, I'm like 220, you know. So Brandon is like the same thing. Did not like football at all. And then Braden, my one at Coastal Carolina, is like 6'2.5", like 195 pounds. You know what I mean? So you know, it was crazy because you thought it'd be flip flop on who likes it or whatever. And but Brandon, my oldest, bro, he was just like, Dad, you like to get hit? I said, son, it's part of the job description. Now, I mean, I don't like it, but I don't hate it. It is what it is. He was just like, I don't care to do that. I said, well, son, you don't need to play football. You know what I mean? He was like, okay, good. You know, so he's been track. And he played football 1 year. His senior year, he went out there and played football. He went his junior year, but then he played his senior year and was good. You know what I mean? He said he just wanted to try it because he didn't want to ever leave school and never try anything. You know what I mean? Right. You know, so he did good. My baby boy, the one that's at Coastal Carolina, man, dude, when I say he's truly in it, man. He told me the other day, man, he's been doing great, man. Braden came back. Braden's one of the top. He's 2-time national champion in the 110 hurdles. So he's down there doing track also. He won the conference, Sun Belt. He won the championship in the 110 hurdles. Kid is a beast, bro. You know what I mean? And he's a football player, but he's football through and through. And he tore his senior year, man. He had total reconstructive knee, so tore everything in his knee first game of the season. And everybody dropped this scholarship. He had scholarships from Duke, Penn State, everybody. Coastal Carolina stayed on. He healed up in 5 months. Dude, I'm telling you, the kid is a blessing. He healed up in 5 months, but they had said up to that point that he tore everything in his knee except for the nerve that makes your foot go up and down. They said we didn't even know if he'd be able to walk good. He came back in 5 months, unbelievable. And he is killing it. You know what I mean? At Coastal, he got a great group of running backs. They loving him. You know, they teaching him the system and all that. The coaches are trusting in him and letting him play and stuff like that. And he told me the other day, and I told him, I said, this need to be your catchphrase and you need to put it on the shirt, keep it, do whatever. He said, Dad, I just love being able to do what I love to do. You know what I mean? And that just, bruh, that just made me so happy, bruh. You know, because I just think about that. You love being able to do what you love to do. How many of us have that opportunity? How many of us get that chance to do that? And it's something that's going to be able to pay for his school. You know what I mean? Man, dude. I mean, so this kid, man, he's a blessing. He can flat play. I mean, he can fly. You know, he's an athlete. He's mentally where he needs to be. You know what I mean? Because he's like, Dad, okay. Bro, he calls me every day. I get blown up with video, and he's like, this is practice, Dad. You know, what do you think about this? What do I need to do? What do you think? And I say, what do you think you need to do? And then I'll tell you what I would have done, so I know where your mind is and what you did. You know what I mean? You know, I'm like, don't try to pick my mind, and I need to know what you thinking, bro. You know, so I mean, it's awesome, man. He's, like I said, he's down there with a great group of people, man, and the running backs are man, they've taken him under their wings. The linemen, everybody's taking him under his wings. He's healthy. He's happy. Man, I'm blessed, bro. I can't even say anything else, bro.
What number is in? What position?
Number 1.
Number 1. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Number 1. His name is Braden Bennett.
With number 1.
Yep. Number 1. Yeah, number one. And let me tell you, Braden is a trip, man. He told me, like, we were doing an interview one time. I would always take, I took him with me when I do speaking engagements. I do a bunch of speaking engagements and stuff like that. And I took him with him one time, and one of the reporters said, why don't you ever wear your dad's number? And he said, because my dad made his number and I want to make my own. And he turned around to me and he was like, Dad, I hope that ain't bad. I said, dude, that's probably the best thing you could ever said, because he's Braden Bennett. He's not Brandon Bennett. You know what I mean? So I want him to get all his accolades and do everything because of his talent, not because of you thinking, okay, well, his dad, you know what I mean? His dad can't help him when he get on that field. His dad can't help him when he get on that track. You know what I mean? His talent showed through, So when he said that, man, I told him, I said, I'm proud of you. It's probably the best thing I could ever heard, from you, with that question.
Yeah, good one.
Cool. So Coastal Carolina's ranked number 16 in the nation. They're the highest ranked team in the state of South Carolina. First time in history. So we're glad to have you on the show. And your son played for the team. That's the universe working together, right?
Hey, bro, we'll take it, man. I love it, bro. I love it, man.
Yeah. No disrespect to the other schools who wish y'all the best. But, we just giving some salutations to the ones who are actually on top right now. So we just like to thank you, man, for coming on the show. Do you have any shout outs for any former coaches, teachers or players, teammates, or anything like that?
You know what, man? I tell you, it's funny, man. I got a text a couple of days ago, man. Growing up, like I said, man, I had a group of people, man, the Dumet family. They own a trucking company down here, whatever, man. A white family, man. And man, we didn't have money to be able to my mom didn't have the money to pay for me to be able to play. You know what I mean? And they took me in and coached me up, came and picked me up, made it possible for me to play football. And it's crazy because I just talked to them like 2 days ago, man, and it was on my heart, man. I just told them, because they just texted me and was like, we've been watching Braden or whatever, and I grew up with them, with their son, like my brother, and we call each other brother, you know what I mean? And his kids called me Uncle Brandon and all this whatever. And it's wild. I just told them, man, I'm just so grateful for them, because what Braden doing is possible because what they did for me. They gave me an opportunity to play football, which now my son has the opportunity to play football. You know what I mean? And and it was crazy because they were just like, man, we ain't even think of it like that. And I said, I know, and that's the beautiful thing about it, is that you as white people took me in as a black kid in the 80s, bro. In the 80s.
Yes.
In the 80s. With not a wonder or worry about who I was. You just felt that I was a good person and wanted to help a kid, not a black kid, not a white kid. You wanted to help a kid. That's right. You know what I mean? And it changed my life, and it made me want to do good because I didn't want to let them down. It made me do good because I didn't want my mom to be let down and thought of a different way, any type way, because my father has never been in my life ever. You know what I mean? And, I always was like, you know what? I never want people to judge my mother off of what I did. And I never wanted the Dumets to feel any type of way, to be disappointed that they helped this kid to do something that he loved to do and was only able to do because of them. You know what I mean? So shout out to the Dumets, man. I talked to them. I told them I'm coming back. We talk all the time. You know what I mean? And, I need to talk to them more, you know what I mean? Because I just feel like the success that I've had would not have been there without the help of them.
Oh, man, that's good, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. That's good news. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. You're more than welcome to come back anytime.
Yes, sir.
For those that's been watching, make sure you subscribe and tune in to our next episode. Follow us on Spotify, Deezer, Instagram, and Facebook. You just tune in to another edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Coulter. I'd like to thank my co-host, Kevin Johnson, KJ in middle. And today's special guest, we like to also thank our former University of South Carolina Gamecocks, running back, and former Cincinnati Bengal running back and kick return.
Yes,
Brandon,
sir.
the monster, Bennett. All right.
Hey,
Yeah,
my
man.
pleasure,
brother.
man. My pleasure. Hats off to you guys, man. I love what you're doing, man. Best believe y'all got my support.
Oh man, thank you.
sir.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it, man. All
Definitely.
right. Well, you guys, you know our motto. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Make sure you wear your mask and be safe. Until next time, you guys tune in. Be safe. Peace.
Peace.
Yes, sir.